Welcome to the next installment of the Soundodger Plus editor tutorials. This one's focusing on the spin rate and time warp tabs, which are located right here. I actually like to start with the spin rate markers as the first thing I do when designing a level, mostly because the rate at which the enemies spin really changes the way the patterns look. So you'll see once I click on the spin rate tab, all of these bullet markers here are going to get a little bit smaller, so you can still see where they are, but you can't interact with them. That's good for lining things up that need to be synchronized. Right now, there's no spinning going on whatsoever, and so if you have your Add New tool selected, you can click, and you can actually keep clicking and dragging to make sure you place it exactly where you want. So anything above 0 spins to the right, and anything below spins to the left, and you can go all the way to -6 to +6, and how fast is that? I mean, you can see that's actually pretty fast if I play right now. So that's pretty fast. So I'm just going to ramp it up to maybe 2 for now. And then you can see it goes all the way back down to 0 gradually over the whole song, but there's some interesting parts where it should go a little bit faster. So I'm just going to let it play and we'll decide where that should be. So right there's that big splash, and I'm actually going to have it click into a faster speed instead of gradually going. So if you click and drag one and try and make it go past another bullet marker, it will not do it. Like if I try and drag one here left or right, it won't allow me to, and that's so you can have them snap exactly to where they are. To delete one, you can either hit delete like that, or you can also just drag one off the screen a little bit faster instead of having to go to the keyboard. So anyway, here I'm going to have this one snap all the way to 4. So you'll see that as soon as this bullet marker hits, which is where that crash symbol happens, it's going to go twice as fast. So for this part, I'm going to do something a little special. I'm going to put a spin rate marker with the value of 4 right here just to keep everything even across. And I'm going to have it go all the way past 0 to -4. I don't know exactly where I want it to hit the peak, but we'll play and find out. So it's right about here. So you can see it goes from 4 all the way to 0, and then to -4, and starts spinning the other way. And I'm actually just going to keep doing this roughly where I think it's going to be happening in the song. Maybe there. We'll play it and find out. Okay, so there's this build up right here, and then kind of the climax of the intro of the chorus going on right here. So I actually want this to be super fast. Let's go all the way to 6 just for fun, and we'll see how that looks. And it's spinning pretty fast right there, so I'm only going to let that stay for a little bit and then ramp it back down to 4. You can see it's slowing down. I actually want this to be right here, so if I play it, it'll be at the right speed now. So right here, everything kind of slows down right about here. So I'm just going to drag this down to 1, and we'll see what that looks like, how it clicks into place. There's actually a big ramp up starting right here. So I'm going to have it speed up a little bit right there. And I'll have it slow down to 0 a little bit earlier than the end of the song. Let's go faster here, why not? There you go. So you can see pretty quickly I have the whole song mapped out for the spin rate. So I'll hit save because that's wonderful and good to go. And now let's just move on to the time warp section just real quick to see all the different things you can do, such as reverses and stutters. So right here, for this build up to the chorus, I want to actually make the game go twice as fast. Right now you can see that the time is at 1, which is 1 times speed, 0 is freezing, -1 is reverse speed, and -2 is 2 times reverse speed, and you can go all the way to 2 times forward speed as well. So if you click right here to add a marker at 1, you can ramp it up to 2, and then bring it back down to 1 afterwards. And you'll see that's actually going to spin twice as fast towards the end. And maybe that starts a little too late, so I'm actually going to pull it back here to match with this one. Pretty cool. So we can also do rewinds. Let's do them where the bullets are so you can see it a little bit easier. So from here to here, I'm just going to do a rewind, because this is where that crash symbol is. So I'm going to have my 1 markers here, and then I'm going to have this go into -1, -1. We'll play that back and see what that looks like. And you can see it's very harsh of a transition, so you can actually get rid of this one. I'm just going to drag it out of here. And you can see it'll ramp down to 0 and then click back into 1 times speed. So I know this song, it doesn't have any fun dubstep stuff going on, but you can still do stutters pretty easily. I'm just going to add a bunch of markers here. And you can still do that distribute effect here, so if you select everything with W and then hit D, they'll evenly space each other out, which is pretty useful. So to do a stutter, all you have to do is add the opposite value in between all of these and just kind of lock them in place. Just drag them until they're in the right spot. I guess I can add one more here. Okay, so you'll see that this stutter is just going to, it won't make too much sense with the song, but it will go back and forth. And what that does is it actually clutters the bullets at the edge of the arena so that all of them will come rushing at you as soon as the stutter is finished. You can also give them a slight progression just by making them go a little bit faster, or you can have the reverse stutter go a little bit slower. So this way, it'll always be progressing forward. So you can see they're not as cluttered anymore. There's more of a nice looking arc going on. There are just a whole bunch of combinations you can do. I mean, we can get rid of all of this, and then you can actually have it ramp down to 0, like gradually. So you can see here everything kind of slows down and then just starts going again. Pretty fun. The possibilities are certainly endless, so have fun working in the time warp and spin rate tabs. If you switch back to the bullets tab, you can see that the spin rate and time warp markers and lines are still visible but a little bit transparent, so you can still work and be able to see where your different stutters are going on.